not so long ago, we had a code in our inbox for a game called Splasher that I'd never heard of, but it mentioned the game Super Meat Boy, and I have a weakness, Chris. Whenever I see that name, I go, oh, should maybe have a look. So you and I have both been playing a preview build of Splasher. Chris, what do you think of this game?
It's really good, and it is a lot like kind of Super Meat Boy in the kind of the level designs behind it, but it's actually quite a cool game. It looks lovely for starters. It's very colourful, very alive. There's a few jokes and a few like nods to things we all love on TV and games and stuff. But it's just a nice little game that I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much.
So it's on PC at the moment, but it's coming to PlayStation and Xbox. I agree with you. I'm quite surprised. Often, I basically like to do a bit of inside baseball. Often we get Steam codes that are games we've not heard of, and they're kind of put on the back burner. We'll have a look at them, see what they're like. And this is just one of those that I'm really glad I looked at it sooner rather than later, because it certainly borrows from Super Meat Boy. I think if they're going to continue to compare it that way, there's a little bit of work needed. I mean, I think for me, Super Meat Boy is the pinnacle of level design. Like when people say SMB, most people are talking about Super Mario Bros. But for me, it's actually now Super Meat Boy, because that game is that I've always loved platform games, and that game's kind of, I think, up there with Super Mario World in terms of platform games. I love it that much, and in that respect, Splash is a similar kind of platform game. I don't think the level design's quite as perfect as Super Meat Boy, but Chris, I think so. It's 4 levels, isn't it? The preview build.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a lot more kind of open, a lot kind of bigger in terms. I don't want to compare it too much to it.
But you kind of have to, because like even the so as you're going through, there's like you collect these little guys that are holding letters which fill out the phrase splash and then the exclamation mark, and some of them are hidden in portals that look exactly like Super Meat Boy's warp zones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they are. You can't ignore.
Oh no!
I don't think they're pretending that it's not, but
it's more of a homage to certain elements of it. It's like the pink paint on the walls is a lot like the blood in the. You know, you jump off the blood from one side of a kind of
I hadn't even
column
twigged
to
that.
another.
I hadn't even twigged that.
That's kind of what I noticed. But I mean, the way Super Meat Boy it was like beautifully designed, but there's something about Splasher that just. I mean, I don't know if you know who's designed it, but his name's Romain Claude, who worked at Ubisoft on Rayman. So he's
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a good history behind him. And just the way it looks and the way it kind of, it's just very like pleasant to maneuver around. It's not ridiculously hard. It is challenging, but it's
definitely challenging. Yeah,
it's just fun. Yeah, no, I was going to say it's just like a perfect balance for me. There are tricky bits, but not so much that you struggle with, like Rive, for instance. Like this is just a lot kind of more enjoyable, and you're not going to get stressed out too much. But it does provide a challenge from the levels that we've played.
So the 4 levels, basically, the first level is very much an introductory. I think, is it the second level that's kind of a boss level?
You start off like with
just
a bit
jumping
of a boss,
around, isn't it?
And then the kind of the water rises. Or
that's
whatever
right.
It is.
So it's kind of like the boss for Super Meat Boy level 2 or 3, I forget which, where you're just having to escape against the brown Meat Boy thingy, Meat Cube. But there's one change I would suggest, and I don't know. The thing is the reason I mentioned those 4 levels is that we haven't played. There's something like 35 levels.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them, but we only played the 4. But the 4th level introduces that you can shoot yellow paint, which makes you bounce. So the red paint lets you cling. The red paint makes you bounce, and to be honest, at that point I was like, okay, maybe this has got the chops to call itself Super Meat Boy's sort of like stablemate. But the one thing I wonder if they'll change. If I don't know if anyone else has thought this. So you shoot in this game, like you hold down. It's X on an Xbox 360, isn't it? To shoot, and you kind of aim, but you don't aim, and you aim with the left stick, which is also movement.
Yeah.
For me, the thing that would elevate this, like, and kind of because it's got the same kind of quick restart if you die. But the thing that would elevate it to like no frustration is get that shoot button on the right trigger and have you be able to control it with the right stick. Now maybe there's something in there that you can't. There's a reason for this. But did you feel anything like this?
No, I thought exactly the same. When I started, I thought it was a bit weird. Because
there's
that
awkward,
very first thing you have to do is shoot that, to get the platforms to come up.
Yes.
You have to properly aim it, but you can't aim it with the right stick. So I wonder if there's a way you can kind of map the button to the right stick. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely to start with, that you should be controlling the paint gun and moving at the same time with it. It's a bit odd.
I suppose it also maybe because I suppose if you were controlling the paint gun with the right stick, when you were doing those really intricate levels where you're jumping and hanging on and bouncing, it kind of means they work because by holding up and shooting, you are sticking up, whereas you would have to press up with I mean, it's not impossible. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if there's control options, but
yeah.
I think, I don't know about you, from a game that I had never heard of, I mean, the fact you've just described the pedigree, now it's even more on my radar, but I really enjoyed these 4 levels.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm playing it for the footage that you see now, and I only really needed, I knew we weren't going to talk for hours, but I kind of wanted to see those 4 levels out, and I was kind of sad that there weren't more. I love this kind of game. I don't know about you.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of it. I mean, I did like Super Meat Boy, and it'd be nice to see more of these games come to consoles. So yeah, definitely, I'm looking forward to play it when it releases in January.
100%, and we'll be back then, I'm sure, with a review of it on either PC, PS4 or Xbox One, whichever we end up playing it on. I'm really looking forward to playing more of this. Chris, thank you very much for your time.
No worries, thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Hello, did you enjoy that video? I did. But if you really enjoyed it, click subscribe over here. Just serious somewhere there, and you will never miss a video. Just down here, if you really liked us, you can donate to our Patreon, $1 or £1 a month, and seriously, it helps us make stuff like this. This very camera recording this, that pays for it. Also, do you know what? Actually, I'm a bit big, aren't I?
That's better. There's reviews up there. And just more content. Content, people! More content!